One of the questions I get asked most often is, am I entitled to overtime pay? Well, the short answer is, if you work more than 40 hours in a week, you're probably entitled to overtime pay. That's true even if you're paid a salary and even if you're called a 1099 employee or a contract worker. Some of the most common violations I see occur when the employer misclassifies the employee as exempt from overtime pay. To truly be exempt, the employee has to be paid a certain salary and perform certain job duties. Just because you paid a salary doesn't mean you don't get overtime pay, and just because you're called a manager or a team lead or an administrative employee doesn't necessarily mean you don't get overtime pay. Another common violation occurs when the employer classifies the worker as a 1099 employee or a contract worker. Very often these folks are entitled to overtime pay as well. Finally, a very common violation occurs when the employer requires the employee to work off the clock, either before their shift begins, after it ends, or during unpaid lunch periods. So if an employer illegally denies an employee overtime pay, that employee could be entitled to twice the amount of unpaid overtime, plus attorney's fees, plus court costs. I'm David Langenfeld. I'm a board-certified labor and employment law specialist. If you have questions about your employment situation, call me for a free confidential consultation.